Okay, here is a bit of a hot take. And honestly, it might make a lot of content creators out there pretty uncomfortable. You know, when a video totally flops, almost everyone immediately points the finger at the algorithm, right? But the data from literally thousands of viral videos shows us a pretty brutal truth. A massive 83% of virality has absolutely nothing to do with the algorithm. Seriously, the platform just isn't the problem here. So, if the algorithm isn't your problem, well, what is? Most businesses are so obsessed with hacking the feed, trying to game the system, that they completely ignore the underlying mechanics of actual sustainable growth. Today, we're going to challenge those assumptions. We're going to explore exactly how to build an absolute powerhouse of a growth engine, taking you all the way from capturing that very first view straight down to securing long-term, compounding customer loyalty. Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking what we like to call the agency hourglass framework. And listen, this isn't just about getting more views online. It's about systematically turning that attention into operational scale and ultimately into massive lifetime value for your business. Here is exactly how we'll navigate this hourglass today. First, we'll hit the attention economy hooks, then platform native distribution. After that, we're scaling agency operations, moving into the retainer pricing model, and finally, maximizing customer lifetime value.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the attention economy hooks and how you win the top of the funnel.
3 seconds? That's it. Your hook is not competing with other videos in your niche. It's actually competing with a human brain that is literally hardwired to ignore you. You have a maximum of a 3-second window to stop someone from scrolling. If you don't trigger the exact right psychological response before that tiny window closes, your content is completely invisible. They're gone. Now, what's really interesting about this is the actual science behind stopping the scroll. It's called the Zeigarnik Effect. See, human brains absolutely hate incomplete information. It drives us crazy. When you start with a hook that intentionally withholds a key piece of information, you create this curiosity gap, right? An open loop. And that causes mild psychological discomfort. Viewers are quite literally compelled to keep watching just to resolve that tension. So to harness that psychology, data pulled from millions of successful campaigns gives us this exact data-backed 4-part formula for short-form scripts. It goes like this. First, the hook, right in the first 0 to 10 seconds. Prove the video is for them and rip open that curiosity loop. Second, the relevance, from 10 to 20 seconds. This is where you bridge their specific problem to your observation. Third, the value, between 20 and 35 seconds. Pitch the outcome here, not the features. And fourth, the call to action in the final 10 seconds. Keep it low friction. This structure is the absolute secret to locking in attention before they can even think about swiping away. Moving right along to Section 2, platform native video distribution. Because guess what? Not all feeds are created equal. It's crucial to understand how distinctly these different platforms operate. If you're just copying and pasting the exact same video file across every single app, you're making a massive mistake. Think about it this way. YouTube Shorts acts as a powerful top-of-funnel discovery engine, and it heavily rewards average view duration. Instagram Reels, on the other hand, well, that's really for nurturing your existing audience and building trust, driven largely by shares and direct messages. Then you've got TikTok, which is your engine for pure, unadulterated algorithmic viral reach, entirely dependent on nailing that initial 2-second retention. And LinkedIn, that is your B2B thought leadership space, fully optimized for dwell time on native uploads. You absolutely have to adapt your strategy to the room you're in. Which brings us to the middle of the hourglass, Section 3, scaling agency operations and fixing the execution bottleneck. Right now in the industry, there is a total race to the bottom in content creation. Trust me, you do not want to be the commodity editor sweating over a $20 reel fueled entirely by energy drinks at 3 a.m. No way. Instead, you need to position yourself as a strategic hybrid agency. This means you aren't just selling a basic edit. You're bundling strategy, content calendars, hook scripting, and top-tier execution into one highly valuable system. You sell the outcome, the results, not the individual video edit. And the way you actually scale that hybrid model without burning out is through standard operating procedures, or SOPs. The smartest, most efficient way to build these? Just record your workflows with a tool like Loom first while you're doing the task. Then have someone transcribe those videos into concise, written modules. But here's the absolute game changer. You must co-locate these SOPs right alongside the actual project work. Don't bury them in some massive 40-page Google Doc that literally nobody reads. Video SOPs are vastly superior to just text alone. This is exactly how you protect your profit margins and completely slash your onboarding time. Let's keep expanding outward. Section 4, the retainer pricing model, creating predictable revenue. This quote pretty much says it all. Agency valuation is tied to recurring revenue. Retainers build asset value. Projects generate income. Moving away from one-off projects is absolutely crucial. Retainers beat projects every single time because they build compounding, long-term relationships. When you've got that predictable monthly revenue hitting your bank account, you can confidently invest in your team, hire top-tier contractors, and drastically increase the overall valuation of your entire business. But, how do you actually price a retainer so you don't end up losing your shirt? Well, you use cost plus pricing math to calculate your absolute minimum pricing floor. Basically, you add up your direct labor costs, your software and tool costs, and whatever outsourcing costs you have. Then you divide that total by 1 minus your target gross profit margin. So if your margin target is 50%, running this simple formula ensures that every single retainer you sign actually makes you money, rather than just keeping you busy spinning your wheels. And finally, we reach the bottom of the hourglass. Section 5, maximizing customer lifetime value, the compounding bottom funnel. Okay, I want this next statistic to completely pattern interrupt your thinking right now. According to the Harvard Business Review, companies can boost profits by almost 100% by retaining just 5% more of their customers. Just think about that for a second. A mere 5% increase in keeping the clients you already worked so hard to get can essentially double your profitability. It is, without a doubt, the highest leverage growth lever you possess. Retention is the ultimate multiplier. So the crucial point here is the staggering financial impact of that tiny retention bump compared to your base profit. Because let's be real, acquiring a brand new customer can be up to 14 times harder and way more expensive than simply keeping an existing one happy. Every extra month a client stays with you adds pure revenue at near zero marginal cost. It's a no-brainer. To systematically grow that profit, you really need to understand the straightforward formula for customer lifetime value, or CLV. It's honestly simple math. Your average order value multiplied by the purchase frequency multiplied by the customer lifespan. By actively using strategies like upselling, personalized marketing, and really proactive churn prevention, your agency can strategically push all three of these variables upward at the exact same time. Now, to close that Zeigarnik loop we opened way back at the start of this explainer, what does an unstoppable growth engine actually look like in the real world? It looks exactly like this. The very best companies out there don't just retain their customers, they expand them. Top performers routinely generate 20 to 40% of their annual revenue purely from expansion. That means upselling existing clients into higher retainers or new complementary services, and they do it without spending a single dime on new acquisition costs. Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to chew on today. Take a really hard look at your own operations. Are you just building a transactional hamster wheel, constantly exhausting yourself chasing the next viral view and that next one-off project? Or are you using smart hooks and rock-solid SOPs to build a compounding retention engine that reliably grows your lifetime value month after month? The choice of what to build next is entirely up to you.